right, so we have the next 45 minutes on our mat together. Make sure that you have your water if you need water, something that you could maybe use for a block in case you use that in your practice. I have also created my own bolster tonight. I just wrapped 2 towels up together. So I have a little bolster. You can go and quickly grab a blanket or a couple blankets or a couple towels and make your own bolster too. Just to double check, can everybody hear me? There's a yes, there's sound. I tested it beforehand and it sounded like there was sound. Okay, thanks, Grant. Yeah, thank you. All right, well, if you're all comfortable on your mat there and ready to go, let's do this. I'm really looking forward to this practice today. So you can just start to come into child's pose at the back of your mat. Okay, so just set it up in any way that's comfortable, big toes touching, knees as wide apart as is comfortable at the moment, and start to walk yourself forward, stretching your forehead onto your mat. And just start to connect into some really big breaths. We're going to take 5 opening breaths here. Releasing any sort of tension in the shoulders or the neck or the jaw or the face. And coming into that awareness of your body. And I'm modifying just so I can talk a little louder. You can stay in your child's pose. Keep breathing really deeply into your whole back of your body, your rib cage, full capacity of your lungs. Just having some gratitude for your body, your health, and sending some compassion and love to those who are maybe having some challenges with that. I've been really grateful for these practices that I get to do with you, just because I am feeling stronger in my body and feeling like I'm doing something to help promote good health in my life. So thanks for being here with me to do that. It's really helping all of your encouragement and support. From your child's pose, let's just start to come back up onto the palms of your hands. Great. And keep your toes touching at the back side of your mat. You're just going to take your hands forward slightly and then start to just move your body in some big circles. And go in both directions. As you start to feel those hips, getting that ball and socket joint moving around. Great. And then start to lift up your right leg and extend it out to the right side of your mat. Bring the sole of your right foot onto the earth and send your hips back just for a half child's pose. You can keep your forehead lifted off the floor if you want, or you can bring it down onto your mat. You can take your arms a little wider if that supports you better. And breathe into your hips. Great. Your next inhale breath, start to just come up onto that left knee. Keep your right leg where it is. We're gonna just take our left hand to the left and start to reach your right hand across the left side of your body. Okay, so then we're gonna walk the hands all the way around to the front and reach your left hand to the right. Great, and then go all the way back to the other side. We're gonna bring it into a little bit of a flowing motion here. Okay, it's just finding support with that bottom hand wherever you need to. As you drift and sway back and forth across your mat here. There's no one way to do this. Just seeing if you can get that big stretch in the front side of the body, get the hips moving. And then pause. Bring your knees back onto your mat. And stretch your body forward. Make those big circles with your hips. Switch directions. Great, so we're just gonna move into that opening on the other side. So keep your right toes pointed slightly towards the middle of your mat. Extend your left leg to the left. And then start by just walking your hands over towards the right side of your mat. Lift your left hand up. Support yourself with your right hand. Great, and then switch. Sway all the way over to the other side. Bringing your left hand somewhere supportive and then back to the right. And then over to the left. Have some fun with it. We just want to start to move some of that stagnant energy from our day through the body, out of the body. Great, and slow it down. And bring your hands back onto the floor. And bring your legs back behind you. And come back into your child's pose. A nice long breath in. And a big breath out. Okay, take another inhale here. With your exhale, make your way all the way up into your downward facing dog. Give your hips a little wiggle. Give your head a shake, soften your neck. If you're feeling tight in the back of the body at all, you can slightly bend the knees. And then work to straighter legs as the practice goes on. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, long sigh. Take one more breath here. And with your exhale, start to walk your feet to your hands at the front side of your mat. When you get there, halfway lift, lengthen, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, catch elbows and pause in your ragdoll forward bend. Maybe just shifting the weight in your feet side to side or back and forth. Again, we're just working on opening up the body here, getting it moving. Just real gentle openings. Let your hands dangle. And then inhale to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Stretch your hands all the way up towards the ceiling. Okay, and then bring your thumbs through to your heart. Connect to the center of your body. Feel your quads lifting, your thigh bones slightly pressing back. Your upper body moving away from your lower body as your spine lengthens, as you root into the earth and grow taller. Just feeling that center of your body. That's where we'll move from. Take an inhale breath, reach up. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your left leg to the back of your mat. Take your left knee onto the floor. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Low crescent lunge. And with your exhale, take your hands to your mat and step both feet to the back. Lower onto your belly button. Take your arms wide and inhale for a really wide cobra. Great, hands underneath your shoulders and exhale to down dog. On your inhale, lift up your left leg. Bend your knee and give big circles with your left hip. And then step your left leg in between your hands. Take your right knee down and bring your fingertips up, low crescent lunge. Great, with your exhale, take your hands to your mat, step both feet to the front and forward fold. Your next inhale breath, rise up to tall mountain. And exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Hey, step your right leg to the back of your mat. Take your knee down, turn your toe out, reach your fingertips up, low crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to your mat, feet to the back. Lower down onto your belly button. That big wide cobra, inhale, lift. Great, exhale, downward dog. Tuck your hands under your shoulders, lift your hips. On your inhale, lift up your right leg. Bend your right knee, big circles with your right hip. And step in between your hands. Coming into that low crescent lunge, left knee down, fingertips up and back. Great, exhale, hands to your mat, feet to the front, full forward fold. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold and step your left leg to the back of your mat. Coming into that low crescent. Sweep those arm bones back. Pull your left knee forward. Hands to your mat, feet to the back. Woo. Lower down onto your belly button. Big wide cobra, inhale, lift. Exhale to down dog, hands under shoulders, hips lift. Lift up your left leg, bend your knee, big circles with your left hip. And step your left leg in between your hands, low crescent lunge, right knee down. Fingertips to the sky, inhale. Nice, exhale, hands to the mat, feet to the front, full forward fold. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And send your right leg to the back of your mat, low crescent lunge. Fingers to the sky, arm bones back, gaze up. Hey, hands to your mat, feet to the back, lower onto your belly button. Hands and legs are wide, inhale, lift. The heart, gaze up, press the pelvis down. Hands under shoulders, come back to your down dog. Inhale, lift up your right leg, bend your knee, big circles with your right hip. To step into your low crescent lunge on your right side. Left knee down, fingertips to the sky, gaze up. Nice, hands to your mat, feet to the front, full forward fold. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Nice, exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, lift your right leg up, bend your knee, open the hip, and just pause here as you lift your right knee high. And step in between your hands, full crescent lunge, fingers to the sky, left knee is lifted. Nice, squeeze your left glute here. And feel your right heel drawing towards the center of your mat. Sit low. Beauty. Reach around, interlace your hands behind you. Drop your knuckles, lift your heart, gaze up. Keep pressing your left hip forward. Beauty. Inhale, hands to the sky. And exhale, open up to warrior two. Okay, so let's just take a moment to find the hips, the pelvis here. You're feeling this right quad rotate outward. You're feeling this back quad rotate outward. Nice. Reverse your warrior, exalted warrior. Stretch up, reach back. Nice. And then exhale, right elbow to your knee, or maybe hand to the earth, or hand to a block. Wherever you're feeling tonight. I'm feeling the floor tonight. Right, let's take this top hand and just make some big circles in front of your body. Nice, as you sit lower. One more. Let's come all the way back up to our warrior two. And take your hands to your mat, step back to your downward facing dog. Nice, press your thigh bones back, let your head be long and loose. And on your inhale, lift up your left leg. Bend your knee, open your hip. Right, stepping into crescent lunge, left leg forward, fingers to the sky. Take your time to find your way in a way that's going to work for your practice. Nice. Squeeze your right glute. Feel your right hip pressing forward and your left heel pulling back. Sit low. Reach around, interlace hands, opposite grip. And then start to lift your heart up, gaze up. Yeah, take a deep breath. That was there for me. So good. Reach your hands all the way back up. Inhale. And exhale to warrior two. Okay, keep your ribs over your hips. You're starting to feel that left knee draw back. Your tailbone is just slightly drawing forward. Reverse your warrior. Reach up, lengthen the left side of your body. Extended side angle. Your left elbow, maybe to your thigh. Maybe to the earth with your left fingers. Maybe to a block or a bolster. Great, and then we'll circle this right arm. And just get some mobility in the shoulder here. Nice. 3, 2, 1. Sweep all the way up into your warrior two. And exhale, take your hands to your mat, step back to your downward facing dog. And give your hips a little shake here. Getting a little more open in the hips. Okay, start to walk your feet to your hands at the front side of your mat. And take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to tall mountain. Beauty. From here, we're gonna come into eagle pose. Take your right arm and wrap it underneath your left. Sit low. Maybe catch shoulders if it's more comfortable for you. Your right foot's gonna stay on the floor. Lift your left leg up and over. Your left baby toe can squish onto your right calf, or it can wrap around your right leg if it's there. Lots of different variations here you can take. Imagine that your shoulders are leaning against a wall behind you as you sit lower. So good. Your exhale, you're gonna release all the way into warrior three. extend your left leg straight back behind you. And take your arms out to the side like an airplane. Nice. And then from your warrior 3, full expression, hands forward, step back to crescent lunge. Beauty. From your crescent lunge, take your right hand to your left leg and gaze up as you press your left hip forward and sit low. Nice. Take one more inhale. Nice. With your exhale, reach your hands to the sky. Inhale, fill up. With your next exhale, walk your left foot up to the middle of your mat and straighten your right leg for your pyramid pose. Right, take an inhale, lift, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bow, bring your forehead down near your right knee. Okay, just pause here. Keep pressing your right hip back. Because I have a few runners in the group, and so we're working hips and hamstrings here. Just stretching out all those big muscles, those places that get a little tight from running. Great, gaze forward towards the top of your mat. Bring your hands up to your hips and come all the way up to standing. Step onto your right foot. Catch your left foot in your hand. We're setting up our dancer pose. Reach your right hand towards the ceiling. You can stay here if that feels really great for you, pressing your left knee towards the earth. It's a nice quad stretch. If you want to go deeper, kick up, kick back. Let that left shoulder drop back. Kick up, kick back. Like you're gonna kick back out of your left fingers. Nice work. Coming all the way back up to center. With your exhale, step back to warrior 2. Nice. Start to straighten through your right leg. Reverse straight leg triangle. Great. And then come into a 5-pointed star. Point all 10 of your toes towards the horizontal side. Inhale, grow tall. And with your exhale, wide-legged forward bend. Great, and then we'll just add in some rolls of the hips. I guess you might lunge to the left and right a couple times. Maybe pause on one side. And then pause on the other side. Great. Take one more breath just at center. Nice. Lift yourself halfway. Walk your hands forward to the front side of your mat. And step back to your downward facing dog. Give your hips a little wiggle. Great. And then start to walk your feet up to the front side of your mat. Take your inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Nice. Coming into our eagle on the opposite side. So this time you're going to wrap your left arm under or hug yourself, sit low. Great, and then balance on your left leg. Lift your right leg up. It feels like your left knee is pressing into an imaginary wall beside it. Right toe can squish into left leg or you can wrap it, whatever's there. Lift the elbows up high, get that shoulder stretch. Sit lower. Feel your hips squeezing, compressing. Okay, so we're releasing this into our warrior three. Send your right leg straight back. And your arms out to the side like an airplane. Nice. And then reach your hands straight forward. Then step back to your crescent lunge. Just find your balance. I'm a little wiggly on my left side today. And then take your left hand to your right hamstring, the back of your right leg, and start to lift your heart and gaze up. Nice. Keep sitting low, pressing your right hip forward, squeeze your right glute. Right, both hands to the ceiling, inhale. With your exhale, take your hands to your mat. Step your right leg near the middle of your mat and straighten your left knee. Keep framing your left foot with both hands, and then inhale, lift, lengthen your spine. And exhale as you bow, press your left hip back, let your head fall heavy. Okay, 3 more breaths here. Just really feeling a lot of energy in the ball of that left foot up to your left hip as your left hip is pressing back. Just bring your hands to your hips. Equal weight on both feet as you inhale to come up. Great, step onto your left foot. Catch your right foot with your right hand. Reach your left hand up towards the ceiling. You can stay here or come into your full expression dancer pose. Kick up, kick back. Okay, so you don't have to lean into this very much. You're going more for that kick with your right leg into your right hand, kick up, kick back. But do go to your edge. That place where it's a little shaky. And exhale, feet side by side, exhaling all the way back to your warrior two. Can't forget that. There it is. Straighten through your left leg. Reach up and back, reverse straight leg triangle. Your best Jordan shoe symbol. Right, and then exhale to your 5-pointed star. All 10 of your toes facing the horizontal side of your mat. Grow tall, inhale, exhale. Finding this forward bend. Great, turn your right toe slightly to the back of your mat. Bend your right knee and come into your half squat. See if you can keep your right heel on the floor. Okay, let's lift up through center. Left toes pointed at the front of your mat. Sit low into your left side. Feel your right quad lifting just to protect the right knee as you sit here. Let's go back to the other side. Lift up. Again, flex the left foot, but lift the left quad to help support that left knee. And you can really still get a good stretch in the back of that left leg. One more time. Lift up, bend your left knee. Squeeze your right quad as you stretch your right hamstring. Nice work. Coming all the way back up through center. Point your toes forward. Take a halfway lift, lengthen. Great, and then pause in your wide-legged forward bend. Just bring your arms to the outsides of your ankle, feet, or big toe. Feeling your hamstring muscles spiral away from each other on the bones in your legs here. As your hips start to feel like they're lifting up, just slightly. Like right from here, it's lifting up and spreading apart. Coming all the way back up halfway. Walk your hands forward to the front side of your mat and step yourself back to downward facing dog. Give your hips a wiggle. Full breath in and a long breath out. Great. Start to lift up your right leg. I just changed my mind of what I'm going to do. Bend your knee and open your hip here. Great, and then start to just bring your right knee across over towards the left side of your mat. If you've done some of the other classes with me, we've done this already this week. Your fallen warrior. You're just taking your right leg onto the earth and then starting to walk your hands towards the right side of your mat. I'm just on the pads of my fingers here, lifting myself up. If you want, you could come down to your elbows, just depending on where you're feeling the sensation and how much sensation you want to feel. One more breath here. Okay, just take your hands onto your mat. Tuck your left toes, send your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. And then step onto the outside of your right hand. And take your left knee onto the floor for your lizard. So if you want, you can stay up on your hands. If you want, you can start to come onto your elbows. You can always grab your bolster and just stick that underneath of your elbows if you wanted. Or a pillow works as well. Take 3 more breaths here. Okay, one more. Super. Start to come onto your palms, however you need to get there. And lift your left toes up off of the earth. Step your left foot onto the outside of your left hand. Coming into your full malasana, your full yogi squat. Seeing if you can bring your spine longer with all of your breaths. You can tuck your block or your pillow underneath of your tailbone if you want that added support. Okay, one more breath here. Inhale, fill up. Your exhale, take your hands to your mat, lift your hips, point your toes straight forward, and just give your hips a wiggle to the left and to the right. Okay, so walk your feet just underneath of your shoulders. Lift your left leg up and back, and then take your left knee and tuck it behind your right knee. And then plant your left foot on the floor. Then take a halfway lift, lengthen. And with your exhale, start to walk your hands over towards the right side of your mat. If you want, you could take your block underneath your hands or your pillow. You're really pressing the left foot flat onto the floor as you kick your hips over towards the left. Great, unravel yourself, come back to center, and step yourself back to your downward facing dog. Give your hips a wiggle. Inhale to lift up your left leg, bend your knee and open your hip. And then bring your left knee up near your right elbow. Kick off the right side of your mat. Shimmy your right toes back for your fallen warrior. Grow tall with your spine. And then start to walk your hands towards the left side of your mat, away from the front leg. Hi. And breathe here. If you wanted to come onto your elbows again, that's an option. Okay, take one more breath here. And then bring the hands back to the front side of your mat. Tuck your right toes. Send your left leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Bend your knee. And step onto the outside of your left hand for your lizard on your left side. Your right knee is going to touch the floor. You might take your hands just underneath of you with your finger pads, your elbows, or your pillow. Breathe, 5 breaths. Just noticing if any part of your body sort of gets tense unintentionally. Just notice if you're holding tension that you could soften. It could be a finger or a toe. Okay, so it could be you're just like holding on through your core where you could just take a deep breath. And let everything just sort of soften, loosen, and lengthen. Nice. You can start to bring your hands back underneath of your body. Super. Lift your right knee up off of the floor and step into your malasana on the other, well, at the front of your mat, not on the other side. Malasana is just malasana. It takes both sides. Sit low. If you want, you can add a little motion in here. Just checking in, feeling maybe your right elbow press back and then your left elbow press back. Inhale, breath. With your exhale, take your hands to your mat, lift your hips, point your toes forward, give your hips a shake to the left and to the right. Try and fall into this forward bend. Walk your feet underneath of your shoulders. Kick your right heel straight back. Tuck your right knee in behind your left knee. Plant your right foot. Inhale, lift your spine halfway. Exhale, walk your hands to the left side of your mat and press your hips right. Again, if you want to prop yourself up on a block or a pillow, that works great. Or just dangle into this, even if it's just 2 fingers touching the floor. You can also bend your knees quite a bit to help. One more breath. All right, walk your hands back through to the center and step yourself back to your downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, step up, bring your bum down onto your mat, roll yourself down onto your spine. Great. Take your feet wider than the edges of your mat. And then let your knees drop towards the left. You can bring your arms out wide beside you if you want. stay here, or you can take this left ankle and rest it on top of your right thigh for a little extra. Okay, it's feeling just that front of your right hip here. Take a deep breath in and out. Great. On your next inhale, draw your knees back to the center. Keep your feet wide apart off the edges of your mat. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, drop your knees to the right. And if you want, you can take your right ankle and rest it on top of your left leg. Even if it feels a little unstable, but there's no pain, see if you can stay with it. Just take a deeper breath and bring some ease into your practice. Great. Unravel your legs. Windshield wipe your legs to the left and to the right. Walk your feet onto your mat. So we're going to come into our reclined angle pose. If you want to take a pillow tonight or your rolled up bolster and put it underneath of your shoulders, your back, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, it's just keep it at a place where your head and your shoulders can rest on your pillow, and yes, bring your arms out to the sides. They can be close to your body or far from your body depending on how open you're feeling through the chest today, where you can find relaxation as you close your practice. If you're not on your pillow or your bolster, that's fine too. You can just lay like this, flat on your back on your mat. Slip into a place where there's less to do with every breath. Where you can be fully and completely everything amazing about you, without having to do that, just trusting that that's that energy that's with you right now. If you want to finish your class in a final Shavasana, you can. I'm going to close the class there. From my heart to yours, namaste.